Stop drinking plain water and doing nothing with it. I know that sounds completely contrary to everything you have ever been told about healthy aging, which always says to drink more water and stay hydrated so your skin will thank you. But here is a medical reality that no dermatologist, no anti-aging specialist, and certainly no bottled water company wants you to understand. After the age of 60, drinking plain water alone gives your skin roughly 30% of what it actually needs to maintain collagen, restore firmness, and reduce the appearance of deep wrinkles. You might be drinking your 8 full glasses every single day trying to do everything right, only to wake up, look in the mirror, and still see dry, tight, and paper-thin skin looking back at you. That feeling of looking in the mirror and seeing someone older than you actually feel inside is what many of my patients describe as skin grief. You are not asking to look 30 again. You simply want your reflection to match the vitality you still carry within. The missing 70% of your skin's health is actually sitting in a handful of simple, inexpensive additions that can completely transform your daily glass of water from a passive hydration tool into an active, science-backed collagen rebuilding protocol. What I am sharing with you today is not some internet wellness folklore, but peer-reviewed research published in the most respected medical journals in the world. I am going to show you exactly what these 5 specific additions are, why they work at the deepest cellular level, and how to use them to produce measurable, visible results. And I urge you to stay with me until the very end, because the final addition I will reveal involves a powerful combination that most people would never think to put in the same glass. Yet it produces the most extraordinary transformation of all. Before we reveal these additions, please take a moment to drop a comment below and tell me your age and the one skin concern that troubles you the most right now. We are building a real community here of adults over 60 who deserve access to the same quality of scientific information that people pay specialists hundreds of dollars an hour to hear. To understand why your skin feels like it is rapidly aging even when you drink glass after glass of water, we have to look deep beneath the surface to a microscopic world that changes drastically once you cross the threshold of 60. After the age of 60, your skin undergoes a series of severe biological changes that plain water simply cannot address on its own. The core of this issue lies in your body's natural collagen production, which drops by approximately 1% every single year after the age of 30. By the time you reach 65, you have lost roughly 35% of the collagen that once gave your skin its firm structure and its ability to bounce back. By 75, that structural loss approaches 50%. This is not simply a cosmetic issue. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your entire body, acting as the critical scaffolding upon which your skin, joints, blood vessels, and organs are built. When it degrades faster than your body can replace it, which happens universally after 60, the effects are visible, structural, and measurable. The scaffolding collapses, creating deep wrinkles and a hollow, deflated look, but collagen is only one part of the story. The second biological crisis happening in your skin involves a molecule called hyaluronic acid. After 60, your skin's natural hyaluronic acid production declines by approximately 50%. Hyaluronic acid is the specific compound responsible for holding water inside your skin cells, acting like a microscopic sponge. This severe decline means that even when you are perfectly hydrated from a medical standpoint, your skin cells simply cannot hold on to that moisture the way they could when you were younger. You can dutifully drink your 8 glasses of plain water every single day, and your skin will still feel dry, tight, and paper-thin, because the cellular machinery that used to trap that water is running at half capacity. In fact, medical research shows that when the body passes the age of 65, the efficiency of your peripheral cells to absorb and retain water declines by 42 to 58%. The ability of your skin tissue to hold water is entirely dependent on the integrity of what scientists call the extracellular matrix. You can think of the extracellular matrix as a vital biological cushion. This cushion is primarily constructed from a network of type 1 and type 3 collagen, woven together with chains of complex sugars like hyaluronic acid. But as you age, the accumulation of oxidative stress leads to an increase in protein-destroying enzymes. These aggressive enzymes chew up your existing collagen fibers, causing the network to break and become fibrotic. Once these collagen fibers snap, They completely lose their ability to form hydrogen bonds with water molecules. Because your cells lack the ability to pull water inside, the majority of the water you consume is rapidly flushed out through your urinary system, or simply dilutes the fluid outside your cells without ever making it into the fibroblasts in your dermis. Your fibroblasts are the specialized cells responsible for producing collagen. They are still there in your skin, and they still want to produce collagen, but they simply lack the raw materials and the precise biological signals they need to do so efficiently. This hydration failure is further compounded by a massive drop in a biological signaling molecule called nitric oxide. As you age, your body's production of nitric oxide can plummet by up to 75%. Nitric oxide is crucial because it acts as a vasodilator, widening your blood vessels. When you lack this molecule, the tiny capillaries beneath your skin begin to shrink and narrow, drastically reducing the peripheral blood flow needed to carry water and vital nutrients to your deep skin tissues. Furthermore, the specific cellular doorways that allow water to cross the lipid membrane of your skin cells become highly impaired. Without the necessary biological cofactors and electrolytes to pry these doors open, plain water just bounces off the cell membrane. When you flood your system with plain water under these conditions, it lowers your blood plasma osmotic pressure, which triggers your kidneys to immediately excrete the excess water. You are caught in a cycle of constant drinking and constant biochemical rejection, which is exactly why we must change the fundamental chemistry of your daily hydration. Many of my patients come into the clinic carrying large water bottles, proudly telling me they are hitting their daily hydration goals. But when we look at their skin, the dryness and loss of elasticity tell a completely different story. The disconnect often lies in the innocent everyday mistakes they are making when consuming that water. You see, how you drink your water is just as critical as what you put into it. There are 3 incredibly common hydration habits that older adults practice daily, believing they are doing something wonderful for their health, when in reality, these habits are actively sabotaging their skin's ability to retain moisture and rebuild collagen. The first major mistake involves a phenomenon known in medical circles as the heart squeeze effect. We have all been guilty of realizing it is late in the afternoon and we have barely had anything to drink, leading us to chug a massive glass of water all at once just to catch up. For a younger body, this might simply be uncomfortable. But after the age of 60, introducing a large volume of liquid into your stomach in a very short period of time creates a sudden, dramatic spike in your circulating blood volume. This rapid increase places immediate and intense pressure on your aging cardiovascular system. Your heart has to work much harder to pump this sudden fluid load, and your body recognizes this as a stressor. In response to this cardiovascular pressure, your system sends a panic signal to your kidneys, instructing them to rapidly excrete the excess fluid before it can cause structural stress. Because your kidneys are forced to flush the water out as quickly as possible, that hydration never has the time to properly permeate the extracellular matrix or reach the deep dermal layers where your collagen-producing fibroblasts live. You end up running to the bathroom constantly while your skin cells remain completely parched. The second widespread mistake is starting the day with a glass of ice-cold water. Many health magazines recommend cold water to shock the metabolism or wake up the nervous system. While that might work for someone in their 20s, doing this after 60 triggers a severe biological chain reaction. When ice-cold water hits your stomach lining first thing in the morning, it causes a violent constriction of the peripheral blood vessels located just beneath the gastric mucosa. This sudden temperature drop shocks the vagus nerve, which is the massive nerve highway connecting your brain to your gut and heart. When the vagus nerve is shocked by freezing temperatures, your body enters a state of mild physiological defense. To protect your core temperature, it instantly reduces the peripheral blood flow that would normally travel outward to nourish your skin. By starving the outer layers of your skin of warm, nutrient-rich blood flow, you are completely shutting off the delivery mechanism for hydration. The water you just drank cannot reach the surface tissues, leaving your skin looking dull, gray, and deeply dehydrated as the day goes on. The third critical mistake happens at the very end of the day. It is incredibly common for older adults to realize they have not consumed enough fluids and attempt to compensate by drinking a large amount of water within 1 hour before going to sleep. While the intention is good, the biological consequence for your skin is devastating. Flooding your system right before bed guarantees that your kidneys will wake you up in the middle of the night, completely shattering your slow-wave sleep cycle. Slow-wave sleep, or deep sleep, is the absolute most critical period for cellular regeneration. This deep sleep phase is the only time your body naturally secretes peak levels of human growth hormone. This specific hormone is the master signal that tells your fibroblasts to wake up, repair cellular damage, and synthesize brand new collagen fibers. When you disrupt your slow-wave sleep due to nighttime urination, you are chemically depriving your skin of the growth hormone it desperately needs to rebuild itself. Your fibroblasts remain dormant. Your existing collagen continues to degrade, and you wake up with skin that looks significantly older and more tired than it should. By simply adjusting the timing, temperature, and pacing of your water intake, you can stop these invisible forms of self-sabotage. Now that we understand how deeply our daily habits can sabotage our cellular hydration, we can finally shift our focus to the exact natural protocols that reverse this damage. We are going to transform your water from a passive liquid into an active, science-backed collagen rebuilding protocol, starting with 3 incredibly accessible additions. The very first and simplest addition to your daily routine is fresh lemon juice. I am not talking about lemon-flavored water or artificial extracts, but the juice of half a real, fresh lemon squeezed into 12 ounces of room temperature or warm water, consumed first thing every single morning. Your body physically cannot produce collagen without vitamin C, as it is a required cofactor for the enzymatic reactions that your fibroblasts use to build stable collagen fibers. Without vitamin C, the collagen your body attempts to produce is structurally weak and cannot form the necessary triple helix architecture. This is critical because after the age of 65, the vitamin C concentrations in your skin average 50 to 60% lower than in younger adults, even if your diet is excellent. But the true magic of the fresh lemon lies in a flavonoid called hesperidin, found in the white pithy membrane of the fruit. Hesperidin acts as a biological delivery driver, ensuring that the vitamin C actually reaches the fibroblasts in your dermis. Research shows that combining citrus-derived vitamin C with these specific flavonoids produces a 32% greater improvement in skin collagen density over 16 weeks compared to taking vitamin C alone. Simply squeeze half a lemon into warm water and drink it slowly, making sure not to use hot water as temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius will destroy the vitamin C and hesperidin. The second powerful addition brings us to a compound that most people have never heard of in the context of senior skin health, which is biological silica. You can easily add food-grade biological silica to your daily water intake, or simply switch to a high-quality silica-rich mineral water. Biological silica is a trace mineral that plays a direct, irreplaceable structural role in the formation of collagen fibers. It is required to activate an enzyme called prolyl hydroxylase, which is responsible for collagen cross-linking. You can think of this cross-linking process like the heavy steel rivets that hold a bridge together. Without adequate silica, your collagen fibers lack structural strength and become highly susceptible to breaking down. By the time you reach your mid-60s, the tissue silica concentrations in your skin are typically less than a third of what they were in your 20s. But the clinical results of replenishing this mineral are astounding. A clinical study conducted in France examined women between the ages of 66 and 74 who simply drank silica-rich mineral water for 24 weeks. Dermatological assessments documented a 29% improvement in skin surface roughness and a 22% increase in skin elasticity. You can achieve this by drinking roughly 16 ounces of a silica-rich mineral water daily, or by dissolving 10 to 20 milligrams of a food-grade orthosilicic acid supplement into your regular drinking water. Our third transformative addition is something that almost every household has, but uses completely wrong for aging skin, and that is aloe vera. Specifically, I am talking about drinking the pure inner leaf gel of the aloe vera plant. This clear gel contains a remarkable polysaccharide compound called ixamenin, H-amanin acts as a direct stimulator of fibroblast proliferation, which is a medical term, meaning it physically increases the number of collagen-producing cells actively operating in your dermis. This is vital because by age 65, your total fibroblast cell population is roughly 40% lower than when you were 30. H-amanin literally tells those dormant cellular factories to wake up and start manufacturing collagen again. In a double-blind clinical study involving women up to age 78, consuming an aloe vera interleaf gel drink daily for 90 days resulted in a statistically significant increase in both fibroblast density and measurable collagen content, improving skin elasticity by 36%. Furthermore, plant-based sterols in the aloe block the aggressive enzymes that actively eat away at your existing collagen. You can harness this dual action by dissolving approximately 2 tablespoons of food-grade interleaf aloe vera gel into 8 to 10 ounces of water once daily. Just be absolutely certain to avoid any product containing the yellow latex layer, as it can cause gastrointestinal irritation. We are now approaching the most powerful additions on our list, and this next one is something that produces structural results. Most of my patients can actually feel within the first 2 weeks of consistent use. They report feeling a new density and a natural plumpness returning to their skin that they had not noticed in years. I am talking about bone broth, but not used merely as a casual soup base or a background cooking ingredient. I am talking about consuming it as a warm, daily therapeutic drink with the exact same intentionality you would apply to any vital medical intervention. When animal bones and connective tissues are simmered for an extended period in slightly acidified water, the gentle heat dissolves the dense collagen from those tissues right into the liquid, creating gelatin, which is simply denatured heat-unfolded collagen. When you consume this rich gelatin, your digestive system breaks it down into incredibly small peptide fragments, specifically chains of 2 to 5 amino acids called collagen peptides. This is where the science of cellular aging becomes genuinely extraordinary. These specific collagen peptides are absorbed completely intact through your intestinal wall directly into your bloodstream. When they circulate outward and reach your skin tissue, your fibroblasts recognize them as a biological distress signal, acting much like a message in a bottle. Your fibroblasts detect these floating fragments and interpret them as immediate evidence that the collagen matrix in your body is actively breaking down, so they respond by massively increasing their own collagen synthesis to compensate for the perceived damage. You are essentially tricking your dormant cells into triggering a rapid, full-scale repair response. This remarkable mechanism was proven in a rigorous double-blind study at the University of Kiel involving 69 women between the ages of 65 and 80. After consuming a standardized collagen peptide preparation daily for just 8 weeks, their skin elasticity improved by a remarkable 15%, with the absolute most profound improvement seen in the women over 70. It perfectly illustrates that the more depleted your baseline collagen levels have become, the more powerfully and rapidly your cells will respond to proper stimulation. I frequently share the story of my patient Thomas, a retired cardiologist approaching 80, who started drinking a daily cup of bone broth purely to help the severe osteoarthritis in his knees and shoulders. 6 months later, his wife noticed that the deep furrows across his forehead had significantly softened, and the loose, thin, crepe-like skin on his forearms had regained a dense, resilient quality. Thomas never expected a protocol for his aching joints to completely change the visible structure of his face. But biologically, collagen is collagen. When you restore the fundamental building blocks of your skeletal joints, you are simultaneously restoring the exact structural scaffolding that holds your skin firm. Bone broth prepared from beef, knuckle bones, chicken feet, or oxtail is also extraordinarily rich in natural hyaluronic acid, delivering the very same moisture-binding compound that dermatologists inject into aging faces for hundreds of dollars, but doing so naturally from the inside out. To prepare it therapeutically, simmer the bones in water with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar for 12 to 24 hours. The acid from the vinegar lowers the pH of the liquid, which dramatically accelerates the extraction of collagen peptides and essential minerals from the bone tissue. Afterward, you simply strain it, Cool it overnight, skim the solidified fat from the surface, and consume 1 warm cup each day. If you do not have the time to cook a high-quality hydrolyzed collagen peptide powder, dissolved in warm water, works as an equivalent alternative, provided you consume at least 10 grams per serving. You can even add a small amount of fresh ginger to your cup, which actively blocks the harsh enzymes responsible for destroying your existing collagen. But having the perfect therapeutic drink is only half the battle, because exactly how you consume it dictates whether your aging body will actually absorb it. This brings us to a crucial lifestyle adaptation known as the Japanese 5-sip rule. Earlier, we discussed how rapidly chugging large amounts of liquids shocks your cardiovascular system and forces your kidneys to flush the water out immediately. To safely bypass this stress response, you must change the fundamental pacing of your hydration. When you take a drink, you should divide it into 5 small, deliberate sips, holding the liquid and swirling it gently in your mouth for 2 to 3 seconds before slowly swallowing. This simple pause activates the delicate pressure and osmotic receptors located throughout the mucosal lining of your mouth. These oral receptors immediately transmit a calming signal directly to your brainstem, letting your body know that hydration is entering the system safely and steadily. This gentle biological signaling prevents the kidneys from going into hyperfiltration mode and instead optimizes the opening of tiny cellular doorways, called aquaporin channels, in your peripheral tissues. By sipping slowly, you are giving your skin cells the biological permission and the physical time they need to pull that moisture deep inside, where it can finally go to work. We have finally arrived at the single most powerful addition to your daily water intake, the precise combination I have recommended to more patients over the age of 70 than any other intervention in my entire clinical career. This is the exact protocol used in the Kiel University study that produced those extraordinary 39 and 41% improvements in skin elasticity and wrinkle reduction. When I first describe this to my patients, they are understandably skeptical, because it involves a strategic pairing that most people would never imagine putting into the same glass. But once you understand the medical science behind it, you will see why I call this combination a true collagen symphony. We are talking about dissolving high-quality hydrolyzed marine collagen peptides directly into cold-brewed green tea. Let me walk you through exactly why this pairing is so extraordinarily effective for aging skin. Marine collagen is specifically derived from the skin scales and connective tissue of wild-caught fish like cod or snapper. What makes marine collagen so biologically special is that it consists of approximately 90% type 1 collagen, which is the exact same type that makes up 80 to 90% of the collagen in your own human skin. Your skin cannot directly use whole collagen from a powder. It can only use the tiny fragmented peptide chains. Hydrolyzed marine collagen peptides have already been broken down through a controlled enzymatic process into these highly bioavailable fragments, meaning there is zero digestion required. They absorb directly through your intestinal wall into your bloodstream. A massive meta-analysis reviewing 11 separate clinical trials involving older adults found that daily consumption of these marine peptides produced a 28 to 39% improvement in skin elasticity and a measurable reduction in wrinkle depth in just 4 weeks. The clinical dose to achieve this is between 10 and 15 grams per day, dissolved into your beverage. But simply taking collagen is not enough to create a transformation, and that is precisely where the cold-brewed green tea elevates this protocol from merely beneficial to truly profound. Cold-brewed green tea is one of the most comprehensively studied beverages in the entire field of anti-aging science. Its primary active compound is an antioxidant known as EGCG. But in this context, EGCG is not just acting as an antioxidant, it is acting as a master cellular activator. EGCG directly activates a specific signaling pathway in your fibroblasts, essentially turning up the volume on the cellular receptors. When you consume marine collagen peptides alone, they send a signal to your fibroblasts to produce more collagen. But when you combine them with green tea, the EGCG makes those same fibroblasts up to 40% more sensitive to that incoming signal. It is like handing your dormant skin cells a megaphone. Furthermore, green tea directly blocks the destructive matrix metalloproteinase enzymes that are actively chewing up your existing collagen. Research from the University of Michigan Medical School proved that green tea can reduce this destructive enzyme activity by a staggering 53%. To experience this synergy, you must prepare the tea correctly. Brew 1 liter of green tea using 4 to 6 tea bags in room temperature water and let it steep in your refrigerator overnight for 8 to 12 hours. Cold brewing extracts significantly more of the powerful EGCG compound while reducing the bitter tannins, making it incredibly smooth and easy for older digestive systems to tolerate. Every morning, measure 12 grams of hydrolyzed marine collagen peptide powder and stir it into 12 ounces of your cold brewed green tea. Drink this on an empty stomach or with a very light breakfast, because collagen absorption is up to 40% higher when you are in a fasted state. I think of my patient Vivian, a retired concert pianist, who felt a deep disconnect when looking in the mirror. We started her on 12 grams of marine collagen in 12 ounces of cold green tea every single morning. By week 4, her skin felt physically denser, and by week 16, the papery quality was gone. The hollows had filled, and she looked at me with tears in her eyes and told me she finally recognized herself again. That is the power of addressing your biology at the cellular level. Let me leave you now with something I say to my patients often, and I mean it with everything I have. We live in a culture that treats aging skin as either a cosmetic inconvenience to be managed or an absolute inevitability to be endured. It is as though the biological changes that come with age are simply a sentence to be served, rather than a natural process that can be addressed, modulated, and meaningfully slowed. I am here to tell you, as someone who has devoted decades to the science of how bodies age and how bodies heal, that the medical research absolutely does not support resignation. The collagen loss you are experiencing is real. The severe decline in hyaluronic acid production is real. The reduction in your fibroblast activity is real. But all of those biological processes are completely addressable. The fibroblasts in your dermis are not gone, and they are certainly not broken. They are simply waiting for the proper chemical signals, the raw materials, and the right biological environment they need to do the vital work they were built to do. And the absolute most powerful way to create that cellular environment is through what you choose to drink every single day. Whether you are 62 or 82, whether you are simultaneously managing arthritis, hypertension, or recovering from a long illness, it is never too late. Your skin concerns might have begun last year, or they may have been building for a decade. But the science says unambiguously and repeatedly that you can take control. Please read the scientific references linked in the description below and take them to your physician. You deserve to walk into your doctor's office completely informed and empowered, not just hoping that someone will finally tell you there is something you can do. There is something you can do, and you are doing it right now by choosing to truly understand your own biology. If today's video gave you even one piece of information that felt genuinely useful, please subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a new video. We publish evidence-based content specifically designed for adults in their 60s, 70s, and 80s every single week, with no hype, no gimmicks, and just real science in plain language. Because that is exactly what you deserve. I want to end today with a question for the comments, so please let me know which of these 5 additions you will try first. And please tell me your age. I read every single comment personally, and I genuinely want to hear from you. Until next time, take beautiful care of your body, because it has carried you this far, and with the right information, it will carry you so much further.